Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon upgrade. Today, we're going to be discussing a new move that allows Shuckle to be even more of an amazing wall against your opponent's Pokemon. So let's take a look. So if you don't know already, Shuckle sports the Bug Rock typing, which is some really weird typing since you are only weak to water, rock, and steel, but you pretty much take neutral from everything else except for normal and poison, I believe. So it's some really weird typing, but it works well for Shuckle for some reason. As for the abilities, though, it has Sturdy and Gluttony, which it has had before, and it also gets Perversity as its Dream World ability, which is really funny because it really has no way of using it in the same way that Geroda or Delorta or Smoglord, however the hell you want to say it, uses it. So it's kind of useless on Shuckle in my opinion, but it's still funny that it gets it. And for the stats, you obviously know that this Pokemon is just a beast for taking physical and special hits because of its 130 base defense and 130 base special defense. Its HP is the only unfortunate stat when it comes to defenses, but you're generally going to max out it anyways. But in Gen 5, Shuckle is blessed with a new move known as Power Share, which is a move that allows you to add up the total attack of Shuckle and your opponent, and then divide it in half, and then split that attack between you and Shuckle and your opponent. So what this does is because Shuckle has like the worst attack in the game, it pretty much just cripples your opponent's attack by halving it, and then they can't do like any damage to you at all because of the fact that your defense is so high. So it's a really awesome way of allowing Shuckle to, take hits even better than it did previously. So let's take a look at a couple of sets that this could actually be useful on. So the EV spread for this and nature and ability and item are pretty standard on Shuckle, meaning that an impish nature or careful nature is used to either increase your physical defense or your special defense, depending on which one you use respectively. And then for the EVs, we're going to put 252 into HP to give you max HP, and 128 into defense and special defense to give you mixed defense and special defense, or an equal number of EVs into those stats so that you have the best walling capabilities from either the special or physical side. As for the item though, we are going to be going with leftovers to recover HP at the end of every turn. Also, just one more thing about the EV spread, if you are running a Sandstorm team, you should put all of your other EVs into defense because rock types get a boost in special defense when they're under a Sandstorm, so that would always be a beneficial thing to have. Now for the moves, the first one, as I said before, because I mentioned it previously, we're going to be using Power Share as a way to cut your opponent's attack by splitting it with yours and then allow them to really not do a lot of damage to you at all. But with the increase in attack you'll be getting from this, we're going to be making use of Gyro Ball as a way to, deal damage. And normally Shuckle has horrible attack, but with this move, it's actually pretty useful, or pretty viable to use. Since your speed is probably the worst in the game, I believe, Gyro Ball will have maxed power the majority of the time, so you'll definitely be able to actually deal some damage with this, which is always a good thing. Now, the other two moves are pretty standard. Toxic to wear them down since you are a physical slash special wall, and then either Knock Off or Protect to get rid of your opponent's item, or Protect to stall out more toxic turns and recover HP with leftovers. But this is just a pretty standard set that was made to be a lot better just because of Power Share in black and white, and you actually being able to do some damage with Gyro Ball after a Power Share. So it's pretty cool. And lastly, we have a pressure band set that uses this ability, and if you guys have seen any of my previous videos before, you know that I love to make these sets because of how useful they can be. But again, we're going to give it the same spread, so Impish or Careful Nature, Sturdy as the ability, EV's 252 HP, 128 defense, 128 special defense, and then for the item, this time we're going to be using a Pressure Band because it increases the end turn damage of moves like Wrap and Sand Tomb to be 1/8 of your opponent's health as opposed to its normal 1/16. So with that, first we're going to obviously want to Wrap or Sand Tomb your opponent to trap them and allow them to take increased damage from Pressure Band and things like that. Wrap is there to hit everything but Ghost types, and Sand Tomb is there to hit everything but Levitators and Flying types, so it's really whichever one you find to be more useful. Both of them have the same effect. And then obviously after they're trapped, you're going to want to use Power Share as a way to decrease their special attack and physical attack, depending on, what kind of attacker they are. And thus, that will allow them to really not do a lot of damage to you. So now they're trapped and they can't hurt you for that much damage, and what are they going to do? It's really a horrible situation for your opponent to end up being in my opinion. And on top of that, you obviously have Toxic there to allow your opponent to be worn down even further by increasing damage at the end of every turn, unless, of course, they're a Steel type or Poison type. But you get the idea. And then after that, you're going to have Rest as your last move to recover all the HP you may have lost, and then be at full health. Get rid of any statuses too, because that is also essential. But basically, this set is just immensely annoying to your opponent because they can't really do anything about it unless they have a really, really powerful, super effective move to use against Shuckle. But chances are, even with that, after a Power Share, they probably won't be able to 3-hit KO you. So you can pretty much just stall out with Rest, and it's amazing for that reason. I don't think any other Pokemon can use a Pressure Band set as well as Shuckle can, and this is probably one of its best sets now that it has the ability to Power Share and also deal out increasing damage from Toxic and Pressure Band working with Wrap and Sand Tube. So it's a really awesome new set that Shuckle can definitely make use of, and I think it will also make him a very, very useful wall in this generation. But just to let you know, he also gets another move known as Guard Share, which is the same thing as Power Share except for defenses, and that can be a very useful move in teams because it can allow Shuckle to share its great defenses with your teammate. So that's also another option to use with another move that it gets in this generation. But for singles, we're definitely going with Power Share as a way of crippling your opponent's attack and then taking advantage of them because they won't be able to do a lot of damage to you. But overall, this definitely proves that Shuckle is a very useful wall, at least in my opinion, and will hopefully be seeing more use in this generation. But that is it, guys, so take care and goodbye.